Located on the equator in eastern Africa, Kenya is crossed by the Rift Valley from north to south. The spectacular landscapes and the great abundance of wildlife attracts around 1.7 million tourists annually. Lake Turkana, the main highlight of northern Kenya, is one of the last pieces of real Africa. Surrounded by lava deserts and dry savanna, the scattered villages are inhabited by nomadic tribes. The Samburu and Turkana are two of the ethnic groups living in the area. The beads and the simple houses represent just few proofs of their still traditional and untouched way of life. Their lifestyle is in perfect harmony with the otherwise harsh environment. They live a simple but happy life together with their animals. Traditionally, they migrate with their animals in a perpetual search of good pastures. Their only material wealth is represented by cattle, goats, sheep and camels, which have been used since the beginning for trading goods and wives. With every herd, men and dogs travel together, depending on each other. But dogs hide important human pathogens, among them the one which is always deadly, rabies. Since 2006, a team of veterinarians from the Czech Republic, Romania and Italy has started a control program aimed to reduce the impact of rabies on the people inhabiting the villages from the southeastern shore of Lake Turkana. Between 2006 and 2012, our team has vaccinated almost 1,500 dogs and contributed to the treatment in local hospitals of more than 100 people bitten by dogs. In each village, local people were happy to bring their dogs to the vaccination site and to get their vaccination card with the photo of the dog printed. A successful rabies control program involves vaccination of the dogs and other animals, public awareness, and availability of post-exposure prophylaxis. An important parameter for the implementation of a successful program is the percentage of vaccinated dogs from the total dog population. However, this is difficult to establish. Hence, we have used previously published estimates of 1 dog to 8 people ratio. The overall aim of the present report was to assess the importance of the dog home range with the view of possible overlapping between dog populations from adjacent localities and its implementation into control strategies. To map the external boundaries of the settlements, we used the high-resolution satellite imagery provided by Google Earth. This spatial imagery provided us with the appropriate tool to identify all the inhabited clusters throughout the study area. Next, all the identified settlements were digitized as contiguous polygons. Carefully, we included all the outermost components of the villages, mostly cattle and sheep enclosures, accompanied by traditional huts. The resulted output was a series of polygons representing the maximum inhabited area by local human population. The next step was to calculate the maximum free-moving range for the local dog populations, starting from the settlement's polygons. The main software used in spatial analysis was QGIS. We used the buffer tool and considered the 1,000 meters distance the maximum range the dogs can travel outside the inhabited areas. Using this approach, villages buffers closer than the set 1,000 meters distance have merged in single continuous buffers. in terms of dog population and movements, such cases were henceforth considered as single units. Starting this point, all the data were related to the buffer as a whole, rather than to each component village as separate. In order to assess the possible impact of climate on some dog populations, parameters such as temperature and precipitations were extracted for each resulted buffer using Saga software. Geospatial tools are effective methods for estimating the real field situation concerning the dog population and home range overlap. When implementing rabies control programs, all adjacent localities where the home range of the dogs is overlapping must be included.